Hey boys and boys. It's still Thursday, at least where I am, so sorry I'm a little late. And last week it was my birthday and I had a fever for like 3 days, starting on Thursday. So yeah. And I wanted to put in my 2 cents about like being trans in the workplace and stuff. Let's start with last week's topic, which was passing, because I think that sort of like ties into this for me. And I've had a lot of people who know me just as male online. Like, they have no idea that I'm trans, and I bitch sometimes about like the sound of my voice and how apparently it sounds feminine to other people, even though in my own ears it really doesn't. It sounds more like teenage boy, I guess, to me. And my friends have sort of said the same thing, where that I sound like a teenage boy, and that's fine, because even though I'm older than that, it's kind of what I feel like a lot of the time. That's a topic for another day. But so the problem I have passing is that I'm not like really skinny, and not even at all, which you can't tell from like this video, like, but I'm kind of overweight, and not in a way that is conducive to passing. Like, I know some guys who are heavier who actually pass better, and I don't. Because I'm like really small on top and really big on bottom. I have really wide hips, like 20 inches around, bigger than my waistline or something. So no matter how you dress, there is basically no way to hide that kind of difference. It's always like, oh, he has girl hips, and so that's always like a huge frustration. And also, like, here, I'll show you, like, my chest, this is a binder, right? But they don't lay down very well. They're not even big. Like, my chest is a B cup. So it's not like I have a huge chest and I'm just not able to bind them. It's that they're just like really, really dense and obnoxious, and they don't squish. So I actually went through a period of time where I had like 3 or 4 different styles of binders that I had tried, and I tried everything and nothing freaking worked. And this is the best I've done with the zip up one. Actually, I've lost some weight, so now this one doesn't work either because it's too loose, but it costs like $60 to get a new one, and I haven't had it yet. But anyway, so I got a new job, in June, at the end of June, I got a new job, and I was freaking terrified, right? Because I haven't changed my name yet. I'm right in the middle of doing it. Like, I have a court date in a month, and, so I was like, what are they going to do with me? Because I'm not going to go by my legal name, which is a really weird name and nobody can pronounce it. And I haven't used it in like 10 years. And I don't know. Like, I was like, no, it's not going to work out. So I went in and I had my interview and I was like, oh, I go by Tim. And they were like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And in the training, I was kind of like, I don't really know how to approach like the bathroom situation, right? So I told my trainer, is there any way I can use the unisex bathroom, which is in recruiting? And she was like, oh yeah, that's fine. And so I went in there and I did that, and then whatever. And she came to me later and was like, it's not a problem, and we'll work with you, and we're really excited to have you here. And I was like shocked, and later, I volunteered to do like some demonstration when we were in training, and my trainer was like, blah, 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 she, and I was like, it's he, because I'm not going to sit there and take it. That's not going to work. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, and so she didn't get it wrong after that. And then afterwards, she actually came to me and was like, God, Tim, I'm so sorry that I did that I said that, and I, thanks for correcting me. And I was actually like really floored by that, because I came out at school a year ago, and like I have people misgender me constantly because they knew me for 2 years as a girl, and I guess that's fine, but I've never had anyone like come to me later and be like, I am so sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. And this isn't a workplace, and like I live in Arizona, so this is such a freaking hick state politically, and there is no protection for trans guys. And I was like, I don't want to get fired, but you know what? I would rather be fired than have to live a lie, because I did that and it sucks and it's hard, you know? And, I mean, I don't really want to be fired, but like if my choice is be fired or lie, I don't know. I would have been upset if I got fired, but you know what? They've been like really cool. And at this point, I just use the men's room, and like everybody knows that I'm trans because I don't pass. I can't. I mean, apparently I sound like a girl to other people, not to me, but to other people. And I have like these huge hips because I've only been on testosterone a week. So my body looks like what it looks like, and it's going to take a long time because of the slow rate that I'm going for anything to really change. And I'm okay with it for the most part. I mean, in the way that I have to be okay with it, and in the way that I'm not really ashamed of being trans. So, you know, I actually have a lot of conversations with people at work about it where they'll ask me questions, and I'm totally open about everything because I would rather be in your face than ashamed of who I am. And it's not that I want people to think of me as that trans guy or, oh, he used to be a woman, because, hello, I've never been a woman. But I want people to know about people like me. And I feel like the more people who are informed about it, like the more acceptance there is. Because there's so many things that people think about trans people, and not just trans guys. I mean, trans women too, but there aren't any of those in my workplace as far as I know. And, you know, so I did have a coworker be like, are you offended? Are you upset by me asking you questions? And I was like, no, I want you to ask me instead of like just thinking the wrong thing all the time. I want you to talk to me about it. And all of my bosses are pretty cool about it. My direct supervisor has a big thing where he calls me she all the time, so I don't like him very much. But, I don't know. So, I still have a lot of problems because I talk on the phone all day. I have a phone job, and I get ma'amed all day, without fail. I get called the wrong thing. Like, if I answer Tim, I get Kim. And if I answer Timothy, I get Tiffany, which is a new one. That's never happened before until, like, the past couple days. And then I get, this is Timothy, she'll be assisting you. And I'm like, people, use your fucking brains, honestly. You know, so it's frustrating, but I'm lucky. And I know that, you know. I was so scared of even working at all because I knew that I wouldn't be able to go through it as a chick, because I did it at school, and to some extent I still do it at school because people just don't, they know me as somebody else, as somebody who really doesn't exist, as I tried really hard, you know, to make it as a girl, and that I couldn't. So I don't know. Aaron, dude, I feel like really bad for what happened to you, and that's really terrible. And I hope that it doesn't keep happening to everybody because it's really awful. But I do recognize like how lucky I am to have found like a job that will accept me the way that I am now, and not, you know, someday I'll be stealth, and someday I'll just be a dude to everyone, and I won't be, oh, that trans guy. But if I have to be, oh, that trans guy, being accepted is a big deal, I guess. And I am really lucky, and I am like, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, I know that my situation is not how everybody's gonna end up, and it sucks that there are people out there who get fired, and there are people who lose their homes, and all of these terrible things. And I think that a lot of us, like, I always live in fear of it, of those things happening. Like, I don't want to go to my apartment people and be like, oh, I'm changing my name to Tim. But, you know, when I signed my lease, I told them that. So they didn't deny me or anything. And again, they could have. Legally, there is nothing protected in the state. And so I was scared of that, you know. And I guess I still am, that, you know, somewhere along the line that's going to hit me. And that's going to happen. And I hope it doesn't. And I hope, you know, that everybody watching this has a good experience, has the kind of experience with their jobs that I've had. But I know that that's not even likely, that a lot of people are going to have a bad time, and you're going to get discriminated against, and you're going to get made fun of, and you're going to get all this shit. And, you know, I'm sorry for that. And I just hope that, you know, in the coming weeks and months and years that things will change. And I don't know if they will, you know. A lot of people are like, oh, it gets better, and it doesn't always. So the realistic standpoint is that I hope that people have good experiences the way that I have with my job, and less experiences of like getting fired and getting seriously discriminated against. So that's my video. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next week.